Hi, folks. Welcome to the Breaking. My name's Henry, and today we are going to be putting together a FujiNet for the TRS-80 Color Computer 2. Now, this should also work with the 1, and it might also work with the 3. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't really tried this before, but I do believe it was developed on a 2. At any rate, you might, if you're not into the scene, you might be asking, well, what's a FujiNet? Well, basically, from what I've seen, it is a Wi-Fi adapter for your Coco. Now, if I go to FujiNet.online and note to editor, please overlay the actual FujiNet website here. If I go to FujiNet.online, it'll tell me that FujiNet is a multi-peripheral emulator and Wi-Fi network device for vintage computers, and it started out as a peripheral for the Atari 8-bit line, and it's just gotten so much bigger since then. It can get your vintage machine up and running on the internet using TCP/IP, using UDP, using HTTP, apparently a whole bunch of other things. Why do I say apparently? Because I personally haven't tried it, and I don't quite get it myself. I mean, yeah, I'm used to using the internet on modern machines. I mean, look at that. I'm uploading to YouTube. I've been digitally connected since I was able to be digitally connected. But as far as how FujiNet does it and what it needs to do, I'm new to this. I just found it to be a fascinating thing, and I figured, okay, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. So today, what we're going to start working on is the Rev00 board. Now this, for the Coco, it's still in pre-production. Note to editor, show Rev00, show information here. It's still in pre-production, that is to say it's still being tested, and Rev00 is not the newest. Note to editor, show Rev000 here. Rev000 is actually where it looks like it's going to be at because there were some issues with being able to load from the cassette port and the cassette port just being like suboptimal in general as far as getting things going is concerned. And if you're at all familiar with DriveWire, what they've done is they've implemented the DriveWire 3 protocol on their on their ESP32 so that you're using a familiar interface. We already know DriveWire is there. We've already got ROMs to handle it. And for the FujiNet Triplet, which is running off ROM, they're providing a bootable HDB DOS interface. So, okay, great. So all this should be simple. Primarily, this is going to be a hardware thing with a little bit of modern day small device flashing because we got to deal with an ESP32. Right, so the soldering iron's warmed up, and the first thing that I want to get are the things that are small. Okay, C1, which is over there, and that's just behind that thing. Well, when I ordered these, oh, nope, I don't need that one. I need that one. There we go. When I ordered these, I went ahead and sourced and had the PCB provider install the SD card and C1. And so that takes care of C1. Which leaves us with these and this one. That's a disc, that's a disc, that's a disc, and those are radials. All right. And then we've also got the resistors, which are pretty flat to the ground, along with the resistor pack, which is going to be on here. R17. The trick with R17, let me see if that's listed over here. No, I think, yeah, there we go. It's on the schematic. So R17 is optional fixed resistor in place of the pot. We're going to be putting the pot there. All right. So we can do our resistors first. We've got the 1K resistors. The 3 1K resistors are right there in red. All right. So those are going to be... Okay, there we go. They're the 1Ks. All right, quick serious question for anybody out there. This is, I'm really serious about this. So I have these wonderful little things that my capacitor kits came in, like these types of things right here, and the smaller ones for the smaller capacitors. Is there anything similar that comes for resistors? Because I mean, I can't like exactly neatly store these away. Well, I mean, I can, but it'd be a pain and require me to have more space because I'd need more of those nice little drawer things. But if you happen to know, like if these types of storage solutions are available over just to purchase, somebody please just let me know, please. That's going to be these bad boys right over here. Next up, let's go ahead and look at. Now, R8 is a 0 resistance, but that's also going to be a solder jumper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get those taken care of, real quick. Believe it or not, my presbyopia is so bad that these actually work as readers. Okay, so now we are looking at, we've got jumper 1 taken care of, and that effectively takes care of R8. So let's see, I need R7's 100, and that's right there. So all right, so those now, what I want to get at are these small value caps. So we're looking at C6 and C8. We're looking at C3. Let's see, and oh, they're up here. Okay, and C4 and C5. So the C2 and C7, those are electrolytics. Long lead is positive. Remember, long lead is positive. Long lead is positive. Don't forget, folks, the long lead is positive. Or at least I think it is. Then, let's see, I have a 10 picofarad. All right, another question for you. I have always said pico. Is that incorrect? Because I hear pico all the time. And yes, using like the Latin pronunciation or perhaps the Greek pronunciation, I don't know, it makes sense because the I is pronounced E. That's how you pronounce it. So it would be pico. But is it in American, and well, okay, American English, Canadian English, and maybe even British English, because I think British English is definitely pico. But in American English and Canadian English, is it pico or is it pico? Does anybody have a canonical answer for that? Again, answer in the comments below. Thank you. Still flying. Yay. Whee! 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 Gotta have fun somehow. Okay. So that's the 10 picofarad capacitor in place. That's all of our capacitors and all of our capacitors in place. Is that all of our small things? I think so. Or at least, yeah, I think so. Okay. So let's go ahead and start looking at some of the other ones. All right, so the big caps are the 100 microfarad, and those are, it doesn't say what voltage they are. Where's that resistor network? That resistor network is going to be where are you? 10K. So and that goes, where are you? Right there. Good. The 200 microfarads are in. Those two are in. And then let's see. I'm going to go for, so these two are kind of tight. I'm going to go ahead and get those in next. And short leads and side clippers. Wee. Nope, that did not wee. Interesting. And that also did not go flying. Curious and curious. Oh. Oh. Okay, so we've got. The heck did I? Huh? Oh, there we go. That was the variable resistor, the 10K variable, and that was also the LM386, which is going to be, we're calling that U1. Okay, and what else do I have here? Serial port, cassette port. Okay, so that's just that's just pin headers. Let's see, that's going to be pin header sockets, and those are going to be LEDs. Now, what did I do with my box of LEDs? Oh, here it is. So let's go ahead and get those in real quick. We've got a white, we've got a blue, and we've got an orange. I don't have orange in this kit of LEDs, but what I do have is yellow. So let's see. And this lets me rotate it. So I'm going to rotate the board like that, because that's how I'm looking at it. That's nice to be able to do. I want to know how this interactive bomb was made, because this is just way too convenient. So I had to take a quick look at the PC board itself to make sure that this was going to work, because apparently the 6mm, when I went and bought those, what did I do with the bag? I had a bag of 6mm tactiles. Oh, here we go. So apparently some of these 6mm tactiles come in with, hang on, only 2 leads instead of having 4 leads. And you know, that's fine and everything like that, as long as the PC board is set up to take those. And I had to take a look at it, and you can actually see it on this, which is really nice. Um, you don't see it on the back side of it, but if we look on the front side of it, we can see where these two top ones are bonded together. So that tells me that what we've got there is I can just go ahead and put them wherever I want to, as long as I take these two leads, like stick them right about there if I can get it into them. Okay, and so that takes care of those three right there. That takes care of both of those switches. I haven't done U2, that's fine. Don't even say Joshua Tree. Just don't. Okay. And let's see. Got those going on. All right, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these bad boys in there. So let me Right, that was U2. Do not talk about Joshua Tree. All right. Oh, that's already in place. Okay. And so now all I need is these four pieces here, which are 4 pins, 4 pins, 4 pins, and 2 pins. All right. Let's see. Do get the other one in. There we go. All right. Perfect. or perfect-ish. It's good enough. Ah, that should be everything. All right, I don't see any. Let me see. Everything looks like it's been filled. Of course, sockets need to have an ICs put on them. The 350, the 555 is. Did that get put in correctly? Nope. Yep, that got put in correctly. Good. Okay, so that's incorrectly. There we go. All right, beautiful. So that takes care of the circuit board. Absolutely frabjous. Now, I'm going to clean up this mess, and then I think I'll flash ESP32 in the morning-ish. Just stick that right in there for now. Isn't that pretty? Oh, and yeah, make the cables too. All right, I'm calling it a night. Okay, so we got the board made. So we got the board built, and we've got the ESP32 actually put into the board. So that's right there, and everything's fine except I have not installed the 555 timer. Now I wouldn't build the whole board, but I'm going to forego. I'm not going to worry about the 555 right now because I'm going to forego trying to boot via cassette. Now this doesn't have the capability to boot via drive wire. You have to load HDB DOS first in order for that to work. But what I can do is I can use deload through a drive wire server, go ahead and do that, and swap out the cables, plug this in, and go from there. And that'll solve the problem. I built the Rev double aught because that's what I had put together. The Rev triple aught actually uses a cartridge connector and puts an EEPROM in there. Okay, so off camera, I have put together the serial cable already. Didn't figure that was necessary since we've seen this before. Anyway, let's see if we can't find. There's what I was looking for. At this stage, there's no. Let's see, official release of Cocoa firmware, but you flash a precompiled version. Check the Discord, or you can compile one yourself. So we do need the FujiNet flasher to easily. Let me do this. For the file system image and the firmware, the file system image consists of files that the firmware makes use of. Data. Select the upload file system image task in the platform.io tab. Okay. So the next thing that I should be able to do. All right, so I'm going to turn this off for a minute. Get it plugged in to the board. And we'll turn it back on. Okay. Well, that actually wasn't too bad. All right, so let's. Everything works. FujiNet board should automatically reboot and start running the newly upgraded firmware. Monitor option in the platform IO menu. What the heck is all that? So it flashed. We're going to go ahead and try this. And what I know about this bit right here, yeah, bootstrap, insert in cart clot, assuming okay, so the triple aught will boot directly. Should launch the FujiNet contact fig on power up, and then the Rev 0 and Rev double aught, it's using DriveWire to handle things, and bootstrapping's a little bit different. So I've managed to find Thomas Cherryhone's video, and the DriveWire unit, or not the DriveWire, the FujiNet unit should show up under HDB DOS as Drive 0. I should basically be able to run a directory on it. Now, I have already loaded HDB DOS, but I do not have the FujiNet plugged in. So I'm going to deactivate and remove my DriveWire cable. And now I'm going to go ahead and plug in that one right there, the cable for the FujiNet device. And this should, I don't know why it's not connecting, why it's not contacting.
A few inches later.
Well, they're all in there. They're just not very, it just doesn't feel all that together that tight. But that's all right. Okay. That's not happy. Okay, that's distinctly a bad thing. Okay, all right. So I think I am going to give this, I'm going to set this aside for the time being. And we'll deal with the problem later. And I really do think that whatever's happening here is definitely part of the problem. So I wonder what happens now. I wonder what happens if I reboot this. Oh my God! I don't know how, but all of a sudden it started working. Okay. So did you fail? All right, let's try this again. Okay, there we go. And I should be able to save. Okay, I'm gonna wait until I get the things transferred over and do that afterwards. Okay, that's in. Let's take a gander at. Okay, so this output looks like it's doing fine. Oops. Do exec. Okay, HTTP DOS is booting. And I'm getting an IO error. And I might be getting an IO error because the pins weren't connected. Let me try that again. And we have that. Now config.bin is only 7 granules. See what's going on with this. Because that took forever last time I tried. Okay, FujiNet config print care 219. Okay, so it doesn't run mconfig. That's all it's doing is running config. So let's exit that. No, let's not exit. Let's just something went awry somewhere. And okay, and I'm starting to get these funky little things here. All right. So I'm going to move this off to the side. I know you guys can't see it while I'm doing this, and I have no idea what that character is. So let me see. And I want to do another directory. Okay, it sees it just fine. And as I'm watching over there, I'm seeing more characters pop up. That might be my problem. That could very well be my problem. It could be the wrong baud rate. Okay, so let me do this. I believe that screen defaults to 9600. Okay, there we go. Now I'm actually getting data that makes sense. All right, so for this, if I hit a directory, I'm seeing some information show up over here. Let's see. All right, everything's been read. So now, when I hit exec, something should happen. And nothing happens. I don't even know what it's doing. And I'm getting no information from the FujiNet device. Okay. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to call this. Things are working, but they're not quite working. Okay. Well, that was half a success. I'm able to bootstrap it. That's not a problem. I'm able to go ahead and turn on the FujiNet unit, and the FujiNet unit is giving data to the Coco. However, as soon as I run that configuration thing, for whatever reason, on the one that I flashed, it's just not working, or it doesn't appear to be doing anything. I don't know how long that's supposed to take to boot. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the next revision. Since I've already got since I've already got the ESP32 and it's already flashed, then I figure what I will do is build the there we go the Rev 3-aught, and the Rev 3-aught actually plugs into the cartridge port. It still uses the serial port, but it plugs into the cartridge port, thus making things maybe just a little bit easier. I'm not really sure. And if I do it that way, it makes a heck of a lot more sense to go ahead and hardwire the serial cable. I still don't know what the heck went wrong here. At any rate, I just want to say thanks to everybody for joining me here at the Break Key today. It's been, I enjoy soldering things. I enjoy hardware projects, but this has been a little bit frustrating because, well, I don't exactly know what's going wrong. As far as I can tell, I've done everything right. And usually when I think I've done everything right, it's like a really stupid mistake or a moderately glitchy contact somewhere. But whatever the case is, this is something that looks promising. It's something that it looks like it can be fun. And it's something that I want to put together and I want to make work right here with you guys on the Break Key.